History always repeats itself, especially regarding fascism. And I am about to show you what I'm talking about. American Prospect is one of my favorite independent media places to rely on. They do incredible reporting. Please go check them out. I highly recommend them. Here is an article that they've recently wrote that shows the incredible harm that ICE is doing in ICE detention facilities. This was written by Whitney Curry Wimbish. Go check out this article. Remember, support the American Prospect. For-profit school opening in for-profit ICE family prison. Stride Inc. is hiring multiple teachers to run a new school at the South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley, Texas. For-profit virtual education company accused of defrauding investors and other harms is set to run a new school at an immigration prison in Texas, according to job advertisements. Stride Inc., an S&P 600 corporation based in Virginia, is hiring across various positions, including a school principal, counselor, and teachers for English, math, and science. All will work on site at the South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley, one of the largest detention centers in the U.S., the job ads state. The facility is managed by CoreCivic, one of the two major for-profit prison operators whose fortunes have risen drastically under the Trump regime, as I reported in August. The establishment of a school is an effort to sanitize the extended detention of hundreds of children at Dilley, which violates a court settlement established 28 years ago. Under that settlement, children may not be held in immigration prison for more than 20 days unless the facility is non-secure and licensed. But a recent court order filing claims that ICE has held hundreds of children for well beyond that limit, in some cases for multiple months, and subjected them to neglect and abuse. Immigration prisons are not licensed childcare facilities, and even if they were, living in one, quote, is going to be harmful and detrimental to kids in lasting ways, ICE's legal director Javier O. Hidalgo said in an interview. Quote, you're in jail, and you're going to school in jail. It's never going to be appropriate and adequate. The posting for the school's principal says whoever holds that job will directly supervise 15 to 30 full-time equivalent regular employees and or contractors. Postings for instructors, such as one for a high school English teacher, say they will be responsible for, quote, a minimum of 20 students in daily 4-hour sessions. Immigration advocates said they expect the school to open in January. Part of our mission to provide equitable, high-quality education to all students, Stride Learning Solutions is opening a new school site at an ICE detention facility in Dilley, Texas, says a posting for a special education compliance coordinator. The ads note that the company is, quote, currently seeking to create a pipeline of experienced educators. The Department of Homeland Security did not respond to a request for comment on the court filing or to provide details about the school. Update: DHS responded to an email requesting information after press time, but failed to answer specific questions, including whether the school in the Dilley immigration prison would open in January. Instead, the email provided a lengthy statement attributed to an unnamed spokesperson saying in part, quote, another day and another hoax about the South Texas Family Residential Center. Nearly every single day, my office responds to media questions on false allegations about illegal alien detention centers. The email said immigrants should self-deport using the glitchy CPB home app, which they said gives them, quote, the potential ability to return the legal right way and come back to live the American dream. Stride, also known as K-12 Inc., is a $2 billion online education company that reportedly served 220,000 students in 31 states last year. Former McKinsey & Co. consultant John P. Cackard founded the company in 2000 with $40 million in venture capital backing from Oracle's Larry Ellison and the junk bond king Michael Milken, among others. Larry Ellison, you mean the one that bought TikTok, the one that is a pro-Zionist, the one whose son owns Paramount, that's trying to monopolize to get HBO, CNN, Netflix to create a Hasbro-like conglomerate for media. Yeah, that Ellison. The Trump regime is using the South Texas Family Residential Center, which was constructed by the Obama administration in 2014, to imprison hundreds of children for more than a month, according to a court declaration filed on Monday in a lawsuit against the federal government. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detained nearly 400 children for more than 20 days in August and September alone, it says, including 150 who were imprisoned for more than a month. That violates the Flores Settlement Agreement, the 1997 legal requirement for the government to meet basic standards of care and oversight for children it holds in immigration prisons. Under the agreement, the government must provide education to immigration prisoners 17 years old and younger, along with adequate food, water, clothes, and medical attention. The government also must transfer children to a licensed, non-secure child care facility after 20 days. There is no adequate education or recreation at the prison for children, a fact that ICE itself admitted in a recent supplemental report. Children reported that the educational program that currently exists is a little more than an hour of drawing in a classroom so crowded that some children are turned away. President Trump has tried twice to overturn the Flores settlement. A federal judge in August rejected the most recent attempt. A panel of judges in 2019 rejected his first try, during which his administration argued it shouldn't have to give children showers, soap, toothbrushes, or towels. Monday's court filing included multiple reports from children and their families describing the conditions at Dilley, which it says have worsened in recent weeks, with families reporting horrific concerns such as denial of critical medical care, worms and mold in their food, resulting in children becoming ill, and threats of family separation by officers and staff. The declaration includes multiple reports of abuses, including instances where core civic staff members hit children until they bled, intentionally broke their bones, and ignored and aggravated the trauma of imprisonment. Children living in the prison are weak, faint, pale, and often crying because they are hungry, and they report feeling like prisoners locked up in isolated cell-like trailers, according to the filing. One said, "We know we are like prisoners here." Another said, "It's a prison here. It is truly a living hell." Families report that their children are anxious, stressed, depressed, and regressing in development, including wetting themselves after years of being potty trained. One child reported that they, quote, "feel very sad and stressed to be here. Sometimes I have anxiety attacks. My nerves are so high, I don't know what is happening. My muscles will twitch because I'm so nervous and on edge." The administration is forcing more longtime U.S. residents into immigration prisons and plans to increase the number of prisons even further next year. The South Texas Family Residential Center, where Stride is gearing up for its new school, has been closed under the Biden administration. But Core Civic announced in March that it would reopen, quote, to resume operations and care for up to 2,400 individuals. Executives said in their first quarter earnings call, the reopening will bring $180 million to the company's balance sheet, part of the Trump regime's mass deportation campaign, which will significantly expand next year with more than $150 billion in tax dollars, including $45 billion for more facilities, a funding boost delivered in the One Big Beautiful Bill. This is what's happening in the United States. This is what's happening under the Trump regime. It's very important that we combat this as much as possible. The representative for this area is Tony Gonzalez. He unfortunately is a Republican. Will he do anything? Probably not, but at the same time, flood his fucking voicemails and demand that he does an independent investigation. Because at the end of the day, these are still human rights violations. Spread this story everywhere. The United States is torturing children because they are brown. This is not the first time the United States has done something like this. The United States used to do this to indigenous children when they kidnapped them away from their family. The United States used to do this to Japanese children after Pearl Harbor. The United States is known to torture children because they are of a different background. It's time to combat fascism by breaking up this generational trauma that the United States inflicts on people every single fucking day.